Every year, millions of Californians come to court to address legal problems. Often, they don't have the resources to hire an attorney, and they don't know how to get legal help. The California courts have made a major investment in access to justice by providing free self-help centers in every trial court in the state. The centers are directed by a supervising attorney who works for the court in order to provide information and guidance to everyone who requests assistance. Because the courts need to remain neutral, we cannot provide legal advice to the litigants, but we can and do offer extensive information and education regarding how to address their legal issues through the court process. Since we provide services to all people who have cases in the California courts, we don't screen for income, conflicts, immigration status, or a wide variety of issues that legal aid programs are required to screen for. Over 4.3 million people come to court in California each year without an attorney. 90% of family law cases have at least one party without a lawyer, and 90% of tenants in eviction cases represent themselves. In California, as is the case nationally, more than 75% of civil cases have at least one party without an attorney. Many of these litigants can handle all or a portion of a case with the assistance of a self-help center, but many will need more assistance. One of the key things that a self-help center does is identify what the person needs and who can best provide that assistance. This process is called triage. It involves identifying the legal issue and the ability of the person to handle the issue and knowing what resources are available to help. For example, if a tenant came in with a notice of eviction, the intake worker might look to see when the response is due, the type of eviction, whether there's an attorney on the other side, and whether the customer reads and speaks English. The tenant might need to get an answer on file immediately and get help preparing the forms with the assistance of instruction sheets, a computer program, a trained volunteer, a staff attorney, or a paralegal. It might become clear in the process that the case would be one that legal aid would likely take, or one that could be resolved with mediation, or where other community resources could help. The center would explain those resources in order to make a good referral. The tenant would get information on how eviction cases proceed in court and how to prepare for settlement conferences and trials. The tenant could come back later in the case for another consultation or class. By sorting customers based on their specific needs, the triage process improves efficiency enormously, helping people get the information they need, when they need it, and in a format they can use. Oftentimes, people don't know what issues can be helped with legal solutions and whether they have a complicated situation that needs a lawyer or not. Our centers help people sort out issues, help with what they can, and give good referrals for issues where people need additional assistance. We work closely with legal aid, the bar, social services, and justice partners to provide the most effective services possible. Each center develops its services based on their specific community's resources and needs. Today, we're going to have a look at the Self-Help Center in San Francisco. Let's see how they work to identify the right resources and services for litigants in their community.
The Self-Help Center is for self-represented litigants. We open our doors on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday for a walk-in. When the doors open, there's usually already a line in place. And we have signage and also a video screen that tells folks what types of services that we offer. And we see about per day between 120 to 140 people. At the intake counter, we have two different positions. The first is a clerk who is going to triage the case. Are you in the right place? Are you in the right department? Are you in the right county? Are you self-represented or do you have an attorney? So it's really very similar to a filing clerk's check-in window, but much more extensive services. If the person is in the right court and we can provide services that day, the triage worker writes a ticket, very similar to taking an order at a restaurant, with the customer's name, timestamps it, and hands that ticket over to another worker that is the second tier triage. And the second tier worker is either an attorney or a paralegal. So the second tier triage is what we call the expediter. He or she distributes the cases to the caseworker and also works with the folks who are waiting in our waiting area. Some folks will go on the Judicial Council website and print out their own forms, fill up their forms, but they just want one more glance over and have a couple of questions. They are also our customers. Those folks, if they want a little bit extra assistance in the divorce, they will come to our workshop such that, we can really provide services to 10 to 15 people with one staff member. We don't hand out forms, just a packet of forms, because we have found that the customer will return with the portions of the forms highlighted and still blank. So we provide the one-on-one assistance so that we can explain what the form is asking, and if the person is not able to write, we can write that for them. We can act as scribes. We're really fortunate in San Francisco because the resources are so rich with the law schools, even undergraduates. We have a collaboration with the AmeriCorps Justice Corps program. So every year we have, from September through May, 14 to 18 dedicated part-time Justice Corps members. So it's about being efficient with the different tiers of services that we can provide.
They help you with the paperwork. There's no way in America can a person fill out this paperwork. So they take out their precious time to sit there, and they don't just run it on you. They break it down to you and let you know and understand what's going on here. And that's what I love about the self-help, and that's why I always come when I need them.
Well, I have a child custody case pending, and I really have no idea what to do. I haven't had any idea for a while, and finally I found out that I can come in here into the self-help center, and it's really helpful because I can't afford an attorney. So I'm really grateful for them because they showed me which way to go and how to fill out paperwork. And I'm not very smart at filling out paperwork, and they did go step by step, which is real good. And they told me where to file it, which is probably the biggest problem I had. I didn't know where to go. And I'm happy that they're here. And because of them, I have this help, and I'm able to be a part of my son's life, which is what I wanted to do.
I don't know. I don't know what I would do if this center wasn't here. I would be lost. Really, I would be lost in the system, really, because I don't understand everything that I'm reading here. I don't understand the legal terminology.
I was in the middle of a very stressful living situation. My landlord was trying to increase my rent by like 2 or 3-fold, and not being a legal professional, I had no idea if what he was doing was illegal or what my rights were in the situation at all. So after spending quite a few hours looking for answers in all kinds of different places in San Francisco, finally somebody pointed me in the direction of the Access Center, where I got all the answers I needed and found out that what he was doing was completely illegal. So thanks to the answers I got at the Access Center, I was able to file an action against him and ended up winning.
I needed help with my divorce. I wasn't getting it with the online sources that I was using. And so when I came to the Self-Help Center, they helped me put all my papers together that I needed, the necessary ones, the things that needed to be amended that the online source didn't help me with. And then as a result of all of that, today I am getting the divorce I had been waiting for.
Self-help centers are an increasingly important resource for people to navigate California's court system and to gain access to justice.
They give you hope for a better day or a brighter day.